may this witness be excused?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, next witness.
The state calls crime scene investigator Calderaro.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this class will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you may proceed.
Please state your full name for the record.
Yes, my name is Carrie Lynn Calderaro.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a crime scene technician.
How long have you been a crime scene technician?
It'll be about 13 years this summer.
And what sort of training do you receive in order to become a crime scene technician?
I have a bachelor's in criminal justice along with a crime scene certificate, along with hands-on training once hired.
And do you work alongside homicide detectives when you are responding to a homicide scene?
Yes.
This particular investigation back on June 24th of 2024, were you asked to respond to Tampa General Hospital in order to photograph and document some victims who had been shot?
Yes.
Did you make contact with a person later identified to you as Xavier Edwards?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time we'd introduce into evidence States Exhibit 26A through E.
Okay, any objection, Mr. Gonzalez?
No objection.
Mr. Sinardi?
No objection.
Mr. Wise?
No objection.
Mr. Petridis? Okay, admitted.
And did you take several photographs of Mr. Edwards while he was in the hospital to try to document as best you can, given his condition, the injuries that he had received?
Yes.
I'm going to show you States Exhibit 26A. What is in 26A?
This is just showing the individual as I arrived in the trauma bay.
And what was the condition of this individual while you were trying to take these photographs?
From what I can recall, I know that he was only able to lay on his one side, and he was bandaged in some areas as well.
And was he trying to assist as best you can for you to take these photographs?
From what I can recall, yes.
26B.
This is just a close-up to just show his face.
26C.
This is just a close-up of one of his hands.
26D.
Again, just another close-up of his hands.
And then 26E.
This is an attempt to show his back along with, as you can see, his upper arm that is bandaged.
Did you also meet with a person identified to you as Gino Norris?
Yes.
And did you do the same thing with Mr. Norris, go to his hospital room and take photographs of him trying to document his injuries?
Yes, I did.
After you were done at the Tampa General Hospital, did you respond to another location as part of your assignment in this case?
Yes, I did.
What location did you respond to?
That location was Gates Drive.
Was there an apartment complex at that location?
Yes, it was.
And were you directed there specifically to take photographs of a black Nissan vehicle that law enforcement had directed you that needed to be processed?
Yes.
At this into evidence states Exhibit 29A through R.
Okay, any objection, Mr. Gonzalez?
No objection?
Mr. Sinardi?
No objection.
Mr. Wise? Mr. Petrides? Admitted? Oh, it's already been admitted.
It has, I apologize. Yes, it
What the
has.
clerk says.
It has. CSI Calderaro, what is in 29A?
And can you work on the focus? Maybe it's just my bad vision, but it appears to be a little fuzzy.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay.
This is basically the exterior of one of the apartment buildings, showing also the vehicle that is in the parking lot.
And is this that Gates address that you said that you responded to?
Yes.
And was there damage to this particular vehicle?
Yes, there was.
And did you try to document and record through photographs all of the damage that was done to this particular vehicle?
Yes, anything that I saw that looked to be damaged, I did photograph.
Tell us what is in 29B.
This is the driver's side of that vehicle, just showing from the front to back of that car.
$29D.
This is just showing the rear windshield.
And is there damage that you were trying to specifically show in this photograph?
Yes.
And would that be these two bullet holes right here in the rear windshield?
Yes.
29C.
This is still the rear of the vehicle, now just focusing in on the trunk along with being able to show the make, model, and the tag as well.
$29E.
This will be the driver's side front bumper heading towards the quarter panel as well.
And was there damage to that area?
Yes.
Is that depicted right along here where you can kind of see the broken glass in the front light area?
Yes, you can start seeing it in that photo.
29F.
This is just moving along from the front bumper, going more towards the tire and the quarter panel, where you can see a little bit more of the damage.
And can you just describe for the record and for the jury what is the damage that you are documenting in 29F?
I noticed that the tail light's a little broken along with the bumper hanging off. There's damage above the tire well as along with the hood you can see is a little bit askew as well.
You're referring to this, right?
Yes.
29G.
This just is moving along the driver's side. There's a little bit of damage to the driver's side door along with as well as the driver's side mirror that you can see.
29H.
This is continuing along the driver's side again. Now you can see a little bit more damage on the driver's side door leading into the rear driver's side door as well.
29I.
This is continuing to the rear driver's side door where you can still see more damage moving along towards the rear tire.
Do you also document the interior of the vehicle?
Yes, once I take photos of exterior, we will move interior.
I'm going to show you 29J. What is that a photograph of?
This is just an overall going into the interior driver's side.
And in this particular photograph, 29J, is there, and I'm going to zoom it up a little bit, was there anything else of significance that you wanted to document?
Yes, I noticed that there was some red substance along the driver's side of the center console, along with an item on the floor that had some red substance, and the top of the center console as well.
Whenever you have a red substance that could be blood, do you do other processing of the vehicle?
Yes.
What do you do?
Once all my photos excuse me, were taken, I did go about and swab those areas as well for collection.
And why are you swabbing those areas?
Basically for potential DNA further down the road.
How do you do that?
We have sterile cotton tips that we moisten with distilled water, and then I go ahead and run it along that area for swabbing and place it into a carton and then submit that into evidence.
Do you know whether or not the person who had bled in that vehicle had been identified yet?
No.
Do you try to preserve all evidence in case it may be needed to be sent to the lab later after a determination is made by the case detective?
Yes.
So you try to collect everything you possibly can from a vehicle, structure, or location that may be relevant?
Yes.
29K. Actually, I want to get all of that in there.
This is just an overall of the center console, focusing in a little bit more to where you can see the red substance.
And where is the red substance that you can see?
You can see a lot of it around the gear shift area, throughout the coins, again, along the driver's side of that center console.
And then 29L.
This is the rear passenger side bumper area of that car.
And was there damage to this area as well?
Yes.
And can you tell the jury where the damage was to this particular back of the car?
Yes, there was a little striation mark on the rear bumper area that I noticed, along with what looked like the bottom of the bumper was a little askew as well.
29M, a close-up of that striation mark that was on that rear bumper.
Yes.
What is in 29N?
This is another perspective, basically showing the front side of that driver's side mirror. And this is the front of the windshield.
Did you notice damage to the front of the windshield?
Yes.
Did you take close-ups of the damage to the front of the windshield?
Yes.
And are you referring to this mark kind of to the left of center of the windshield?
Yes.
29P, what is that?
That is moving in onto that same area on the windshield.
29Q.
This is a close-up of that same area with adding a scale as well.
Do you also check the interior vehicle for any documentation to the potential owner?
Yes.
29R, was that recovered from the vehicle?
Yes.
And the person listed there is a Tafa Changa McRae, is that correct?
Correct.
Did you also search the entire interior of that vehicle?
Yes, I began to start searching once my photos were taken.
Was there anything else of significance that was found in that vehicle?
Yes, during that time, I did, again, collect multiple areas for swabbing, along with some items that were later to be processed for DNA and possible latent prints.
And all of that would have been in a report and turned over to the detectives, is that correct?
Correct.
Did you have assistance processing this vehicle?
Yes, I did.
Was there a firearm that was recovered from this vehicle?
That was, if it was done later by that crime scene tech.
There was another one that was assisting you, is that correct?
Yes.
At some point, were you directed to an individual later known to you as Tafa McRae?
Yes, I was.
And had he been at the Advent Hospital at the other location?
I don't recall if he was at that location. I know that he was at the location that I was.
Gates Drive, that apartment complex where you were photographing the vehicle that we just looked at, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. At some point, were you asked or directed by Detective Aaron Campbell to retrieve a consensual buccal swab?
Yes.
And what is that?
Basically a buccal swab, using the same type of cotton swabs that I described earlier to obtain DNA off an item. Those are placed inside the cheeks of an individual to obtain their DNA for future comparison.
And he was willing to provide that to you?
Yes.
And you did collect that, take that, and put it in evidence for, again, a detective to determine later if it needed to be processed for any type of evidence, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you also, when processing the interior of that vehicle, find any spent shell casings?
No, I did not.
So no indications that anybody had fired a gun from the interior of that vehicle, is that correct?
Correct.
Did you do anything else in reference to this investigation?
Nope, I only responded to those 2 locations.
Your Honor, at this time, we'd pass the witness.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez,
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Sinardi?
Very briefly, Justice.
Sure.
Good morning. Is it Calderaro?
Calderaro,
Calderaro, I apologize.
it's okay.
Officer Calderaro, as I understand it, obviously you responded to TGH and took some photos and attempted to interview 2 individuals at Tampa General Hospital, correct?
I'm actually a crime scene technician. I did respond to TGH, but that is not part of my job description to do interviews.
All right. As a crime scene, are you a crime scene investigator? Is that correct?
Our title is a crime scene technician.
Technician. Is there a
Correct.
distinction between a crime scene investigator and a crime scene technician?
Just for us, for Tampa Police, we are deemed crime scene technicians.
All right. Are you familiar with what's known as a gunshot residue test?
Yes.
All right. Do you know whether or not there were, obviously you've testified that a weapon was found in the vehicle, correct?
I was not there when a weapon was found in the vehicle. No.
You're aware that there was a weapon found in the vehicle, correct?
Yes.
Do you know whether or not any of the individuals that occupied the vehicle were tested for gunshot residue?
No, when I was there, I did not do any gunshot residue tests on anybody on the scene at Gates Drive.
And so that the jury is clear, what is a gunshot residue test?
It is for us, we have pre-made kits. It comes with a pair of gloves along with 2 vials that have like a sponge-like at the tip of each one for each hand. You go along and basically will dab it around the hand of the right and left, pretty much on the outside and around the palm. And then that can be later submitted to a lab for testing.
And what's the purpose of that test?
To basically see if there's any gunshot residue that can be obtained after firing a weapon or even being sometimes close proximity to one.
All right. That would be a test to determine whether or not somebody fired a weapon, correct?
Yes, in general, yes.
And to your knowledge, those tests were never done, correct?
No, I did not do anything, so I don't know if anything else was done like that.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Wise?
No questions.
Mr. Petridis? Redirect?
No redirect, Your Honor.
Okay, may this witness be excused?
Yes, she may.
All right, thank you, free to go. All right, who's your next witness?